Following along from a previous video I uploaded, today I'm going to be showing you how I set up my GoPro Hero 11 to film a POV video. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is what the GoPro will look like once you've got it outside of its box. This is the front side. It has a front screen, which is, unfortunately is not touchscreen, but it's got a screen there. Obviously you've got the lens, you have a microphone here, and just the logo written in blue here. If we turn it to the left side, we have the 11 and black, the little details there. And then we have this power on button and a mode button. And then down here, don't know if you can see, we have this filter here. This is to drain out water when you're taking your GoPro underwater. At the bottom, we have 2 feet that pull out like so to connect to your chosen mount, and you have 2 speakers at the bottom. If we just turn the camera around to this side, as you can see, we have a little tab down here. If we pull this down and lift up, this is where the battery goes and the SD card or micro SD card. So if we just pull the battery out, we have the battery slot in here, and at the top here we have the micro SD card. If you're wondering what I'm using, I have a 128GB micro SD card from SanDisk. So you want to put the red and gold bit pointing the battery case, the battery insert slot. You just shove it in the SD card space and it's secured in there. Likewise with the battery, you just slot it in the battery insert, press it all the way down, and then close the tab, and that's all secured. Moving on to powering it on, we're going to press the button at the side here, hold that down, and then this light should turn red and it's on. So currently, as we can see, we have the SD card space up here. It shows you how long you have on the SD card left to record. In the top right hand corner, we have the battery percentage. If we click on this icon, these are the different stabilization modes. Personally, for the POVs, I just stick to on, because if I go up to auto boost or boost, what this will do, it will crop in the video, so I'm not getting as much information in the frame as I can. So I'd like to keep it on so it doesn't crop in on the video. At the opposite side, we have the different variations for the slow-mo and frames per second, so we can change that. I prefer to keep it to 60 FPS, so I'm going to click that. Now if we come down to the bottom, we have the different lens varieties and the wideness. I prefer to stick with the Super View at 16mm because I just find that it fits everything in frame and I can capture the POV really nicely. However, if we come to the middle and press activity, you can create a custom preset like I have at the top. Once I did this, I actually realised that it was the same as the activity preset, but oh well. GoPro gives you all these different presets, but I've created my own at the top. And if we just click on it, click edit, these are my settings for the POV videos. So I have 4K 60 as a resolution. I have the Super View at 16mm for the lens type, because it allows me to capture everything in frame, including the camera and the surroundings. Next we have Hyper Smooth on. Not the boost version though, because as I said, it will crop in and I want to show as much of the surrounding as possible. Next on, we have scheduled capture, have that off. Duration, no limit. Have hindsight off as well. And we have timer off, and zoom is at 1, but I can change that. Then we come down to the Protune bit. I have 10-bit turned on. My bitrate is on high, shutters auto, and the EV comp is 0 for the minute. White balance is auto, so it can adjust to different conditions. ISO minimum is 100 and maximum 3200. But if we come down even more, I have sharpness on low. What I find is when I'm shooting on the sharpness, I think the GoPro overdoes the sharpness, so I just like to keep that on low. We have color as natural. Raw audio we have off. Wind is auto as well, and I don't currently own a media mod, so we can't adjust that setting. If we scroll down even further, this is the shortcuts. This is what you'll see on the front screen when you first boot up your GoPro. So I have the lower left as lens, in case I want to change the wideness of the lens to capture more within the frame. Gonna have lower right bitrate to turn that on and off. Then upper left is slow motion to change the frame rate, and upper right is hyper smooth. So those are all my settings for when I'm shooting a POV. But if we come to the main screen now and just scroll down from the top, I tend to have this quick capture button with the little bunny icon. I have that turned on. What this means is that even if the GoPro is off, I can just click this red button and it will turn on and start recording straight away with all the settings I have on the front screen. If we scroll down again, I have this button on, which means the horizon is locked. So when I change the orientation of the camera, the horizon will stay the same. The settings are always horizontal. However, if I were to turn this off, it will go into vertical mode and it will just change all the time. I like to keep the orientation locked on that. In the bottom left corner, we have the front screen options, which is this bit here. Personally, when I'm shooting out in public for the POVs, I like to keep the screen off, because even though when I'm recording this light does flash, I do like to keep the front screen off so people aren't looking to see whether they're in the recording or not. And it just means that I don't have to deal with any kind of like situations if people don't want to be recorded. Those are the current settings I use for the GoPro Hero 11 to film my POV videos. So if you enjoyed this and found this helpful, I'd appreciate if you subscribe and like the video so it can get pushed to more people. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.